everyone. Today I'm going to be making some homemade bread, and I thought I'd go ahead and show you how to do that. We're going to need 3 cups of flour. I'm using 1/4 of a cup of wheat germ, but this is optional. You don't have to use this if you don't want to. And then this is 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of sugar. I just put them in the same container for convenience. And then this is 1 teaspoon of yeast, and I have the active rapid rise yeast. You don't have to proof this in this recipe if you don't want to. And then I also have 1 cup of warm water here. I'm going to need another 1/2 cup, so you'll need 1.5 cups of warm water total. And I'm just going to be adding everything together in my standard mixer. This is such a forgiving recipe. There really isn't much to it. I make it, well, I used to make it all the time, but then I kind of got out of the habit of making my own homemade bread, and I'd like to get back into it. This year I'd like to do more homemade from scratch recipes, and so that's one of my goals, and I'm starting off with bread. So here's 1 cup of water. I'm going to need another 1/2 cup. So let me get 1 more 1/2 cup. Okay, I did 1 more 1/2 cup, and then I'm just going to go ahead and incorporate everything. So I'm just going to turn it on and let it mix until a shaggy dough forms. There we go. Like I said, this is super easy. You don't have to do any of the work. The ingredients just mix together in the mixer, and you don't have to even touch it again until you're ready to roll it out. Okay, so this is the consistency we're looking for. I'm going to go ahead and open this up so you can see. Do you see how fluffy and shaggy it is? That's what we're going for. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the hook attachment. I'm going to clean it off of all of the dough, and then I'm just going to put a towel over the top. So I've gone ahead and put a cover over it, and this recipe says to leave it for 12 to 18 hours or overnight. I usually just let it set overnight, and then once it's risen, I'll put my dough hook on and let the dough hook run one more time until it flattens, and then it'll rise once again. Okay, so this is the bread I made last night. It's already risen, and then this morning I used my bread attachment, the dough hook, and I knocked it down once and then let it rise again. So this is the second rise. I'm going to go ahead and knead the dough and then put it into the pan that I already have sprayed and dusted with flour. So you can see this is a fairly shaggy dough, and it's getting my hands kind of dirty, but as I work with it, it's not going to be like that. So don't be discouraged if it's sticky like this. Once you start working in the rest of the flour, it'll be fine. So I've been working this for a few minutes here, and you're just going to want to push, flip, and pull. So push, push, flip it around, and then do it again on the other side. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and if it starts getting sticky, just get a little bit of dough on, or flour on your hands, and just keep pushing the dough. If you run out of flour here, just redistribute the flour and keep going until you get kind of like a nice springy consistency. Okay, you can kind of see that I've just kind of mushed it out into like a rectangular form, and then next what I'm going to do is just roll it into a log. And there you can see my little log form, and then I'm going to plop it right into the pan. Now I'm going to cover this with a towel and let it rise one more time until it's kind of pushing up on the towel, and then I'll go ahead and put it in the oven. Okay, I just finished baking this in the oven, and so now I'm going to go ahead and cut it to serve with our soup for tonight. Okay, it's pretty hot and steamy. It just came out of the oven. Here's a little tip. If you're having a hard time cutting it, flip it over to the bottom and slice it on the bottom, and make sure that you're using a really sharp serrated knife. This one's a pretty sharp serrated knife that I have. And then all you need is a little bit of butter, and there's your fresh baked home bread.